Hi everybody, it's Gunny here, but this time we're doing a podcast. And I know that a lot of people don't have time to read or to visit websites where certain people, such as yours truly, might be typing away like a madman because they can't be bothered to make videos. But guess what? Today I'm actually going to do half of that by making a kind of audio podcast by myself of an article I wrote about CVS3. That's right, Capcom versus SNK 3. And you might have heard a lot of people talking about it. Of course, it's a very interesting topic, and everybody and their dog wants to see the third sequel. And of course, if we cut this down, if we break this down, we'll find out that actually it's a bit more complex than that, and that there are certain things going on where I think that we shouldn't right now get that excited about it. So, you all heard and saw and read all the articles recycled over and over again, taken from one interview at Gamescom in Germany, where Yasuyuki Oda said both parties are interested in a sequel. Okay. You've probably seen a lot of reaction videos talking about absolutely nothing and just talking about your favorite characters, probably. And those are great. That's great, because this shows both companies that yes, we are interested, and of course we are. I'm interested. I'd love to see it, but there are a couple of things that make me doubt that we're going to see it right now. And I hope I'm wrong, but there's a couple of things pointing out that maybe this isn't going to happen right now. So, first of all, you can even see Oda himself posting on Twitter that he's like, okay, calm down everyone, and I hope that this isn't upsetting Capcom. And of course, Google Translation, is not exactly super accurate. My Japanese is not very good, but here's the kind of general thing. So as you can see, people have picked up on it. He knows, right? He's very it's very clear to him that people have picked up a bit more than it should have been more of a passing kind of comment. And as you can see, but there is noise. Not a lot of noise on this particular tweet because, of course, it's not as positive as all the wonderful articles going, yeah, it's going to be fantastic and everything. No, it's not quite like that. But that's how it is, right? So after all, I wouldn't say the fallout, right? But how do I go back off this? Crikey, hold on. Let's do this. Yeah. Okay. So after that, I just thought I'd write a few things about the potential for this and why it's not really something right now. As I said, just right now, it's not really something that we're going to see. But in the future, of course. Now, the reason why I say not right now is because when we had CVS in the first place, and you can read all the interviews with all the developers you can find, you'll find out that generally they say that the timing of Capcom versus SNK and SNK versus Capcom was because the fighting scene was just kind of saturated. There were too many fighting games, and frankly, they were all a bit too samey. The characters, the IPs, they were all a bit too much. Well, when I say too much, I mean there was just too many of them, and they were all competing with each other. And it was not something. Well, I'm not gonna say that they were not successful enough. I'm sure they were. Titles like Darkstalkers were awesome, although that might be a thorny topic for some fans. But they were, they had their own followings. But you had a lot of fighting games. I'm just thinking of Plasma Sword or whatever it was called. All these other fighting games, Bloody Roar, and all these fighting games, and things were getting really saturated. there are always other things to think about, to consider as well, that could have contributed to not the downfall, but kind of plateauing of the fighting game scene. And if you remember your own life, what were you doing around the time Street Fighter 3? Why did that game flop? Let's put it this way, that game flopped, bruv, right? But Street Fighter Third Strike, that game was a success. Why did King of Fighters 99 not quite break the mold and make everyone go mad? It's not just because these games did things like take away or move aside their iconic protagonists. There were also other things happening in people's lives. There's a whole lot of things, really. And I don't think we'll ever really get the actual real answer to what happened at these times. But the fact is, there were a whole load of fighting titles, and the two companies could see that if they finally did the dream match, they had a chance to do something that would blow the minds of all the fighting fans. And frankly, I still think there is definitely a timing factor, because just randomly, I was too busy with studying at the time to really be invested in fighting games. I don't know if that's the same for everyone, but other people were getting married, getting pregnant, all kinds of other stuff going on. And CVS and CVS2 just happened, like, I don't know, it just happened like when it was just in front of me, and I was just like, yeah, I'm ready, I'm ready to do this. Okay. But some people weren't still. And that's another topic for another time. But the point is, like I said, it was a time where the companies needed something different. And the collab of dreams was born. And if you think about it, CVS2, I see a lot of people talk, and even myself, I have to second guess. At the time of CVS2 or even CVS1 and SVC, do you remember lots of fighting games succeeding at the same time? There was always fighting games, but was there anything as amazing or as hype as CVS2? And there probably was. In fact, that's something I should have a look at as well. But that's the thing. And I've got to say, when you hear an old developer say, oh, it was like this, you might want to take a step back and have a look yourself. Because old people like me, we have a memory, and then you throw it out there and everybody goes, that's the truth. Well, maybe, but also maybe there might be another viewpoint which says, actually, there are some other things to consider. But anyway, the point is right now, I don't think Capcom or SNK need another sequel. They don't need it. KOF is fine, right? They've got their rollback, they've got their DLC, everything is like in plan. It's going according to plan, right? There is no real problem with KOF right now. They've discussed with the fans, they're doing the right thing with the fans. There isn't really anything to say, right? You can talk about leaks and the next characters if you want, but there's no problem there. Capcom is on the verge of launching Street Fighter 6. Why would you put another title next to that and threaten any success that it has? You know very well that they're pushing Luke, right? It's kind of like Street Fighter 3 situation again. But, we'll see, right? But it looks to me that they're going to push Luke as their new superhero protagonist. And on the other side, you've got SNK's Shun'ei, right? They're pushing these two new protagonists, right? Trying to get new audiences. You can see it's, the younger audience, the young, cool, trendy and hip. Well, and as you can see, different audiences, different regions, different people get different reactions to these characters. How do you feel about Luke? How do you feel about Shun'ei? I don't like either of them. right? But who cares, right? I'm a part. And these companies need to try and get the overall majority, the most people that they can to play their game. So good luck to them both. Like me, I'm just like, bruv, just give me show me. I don't care, right? And Kyo and Yuri forever, yeah? Okay, for life, yeah? 98. So that's the real problem for them, right? But, yeah. If you look at this picture here, a lot of people didn't really notice this, right? Capcom and SNK having dinner together. So when I say CVS3 is not happening right now, I'm definitely not saying it's not going to happen in the future. What I'm saying is these two, you might notice that a certain person has departed from the company, so things seem a little bit more friendly. I don't know why. But there's definitely a good chance of CVS3 happening. But it really depends on the success of Street Fighter 6 and Mark of the Wolves 2. And of course, King of Fighters 16 and Samurai Showdown 8. Whatever you want to call it. If these games are mega successful, there is no need, apart from just for the joy of the players, to make another title. And remember that if Capcom makes if Capcom makes Capcom versus SNK, basically that means SNK pays... Wait, hold on. No, Capcom... Oh my gosh. Right, CVS3. CVS3 means Capcom pays SNK to use all their characters. That's the way it works. Then, if they have a mutual agreement, SNK has to make their own game and they pay Capcom for the use of their characters. So it's a win-win situation, but you know, it's not exactly equal, is it? It's not exactly balanced. And of course, depending on what games they make, well, which game do you remember more, and which game do you remember enjoying more? Was it CVS or SVC? Or was it Mark of the Millennium, which I think is still the best one out of all of them? You can leave a comment below. But it's not simple, and it's a risk for both companies. And yes, it's going to be expensive. Of course, you know, negotiation. Look, I do this for you. You do this for me. Let's talk about, you know, swapping, you know, characters and licenses and spreading the cost or whatever. Or taking a royalty check every time you sell a game. You know, all these things can happen. And frankly, if you look at this photo, you know that the future is bright. I don't know why we still don't have any news of a collab team. But, you know, in King of Fighters 15. But you never know. With a relationship like this, we still have a chance of seeing a guest character in both games, Street Fighter 6 and King of Fighters 15, which will be awesome, I'm sure. Now, whether these characters need to be OP and destroy the rest of the cast for the sake of the license, that's another topic for another time. But yeah, the future is bright, but it's just not right now. I think everyone should calm down. We can talk about which characters you think deserve to be in the game. I'm pretty nearly 101% sure they're going to put Luke in, right? Whether SNK likes it or not. Luke is going to be shoved down your face once again, right? Whatever. I don't know about Shanae. I think Kyo would be enough, but you know, I'm not, you know, in charge of this kind of thing. But you can always drop hints to the developers in a nice way, right? Not demanding and screaming, but ask nicely for your favorite character to come in from the other company, and they're always going to read it. So that's cool, right? And I think that's pretty much it. So if you like to read without... on the other hand, if you like to read, you don't like to listen to ranting old people, feel free to visit orochinagi.com. And yeah, that's a good point, actually. Protecting your IP. It's also not just a matter of cash. If you remember CVS2, right, you remember a lot of people saying how they remember Rock Howard. Where is Rock Howard now? I want to play Rock Howard. Where is Rock Howard? Rock Howard is in King of Fighters 15. Of course, he's in Mark of the Wolves. But if you want to play Rock Howard, you've got to play King of Fighters, mate. That's not good news for Capcom. That's not what Capcom wants to hear. And it's the same thing. If you want to play Ryu or Ken, you could mod your game. But really, you've got to play Street Fighter. And that means you're not playing King of Fighters. In a perfect world, you play everything. But frankly, as we get older and we get more things to do and more responsibilities and just being tired, there's less chance of that. But if they're doing their market analysis, hey, maybe the younger crowd, the new generation has more time to play all of these games, plus mobile games, plus Fortnite, plus Fall Guys, and everything is wonderful, and we all will have pink flamingos and a cocktail by the beach. Yeah. So like I said, it is a risk. It is something to think about for both companies. It's could be good, but it also could be damaging. It works both ways, right? So I think that's all I need to say about that. So I hope you were reminded of something and what it meant, right? All of this collaboration things, they do carry a lot of risks for each company. They could be good things and they could be bad things. And of course, I do write about this kind of thing also in a fictional form where people scream at each other and throw chairs in that wonderful website called Glass in the Snow. But anyway, that's enough from me. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't just click my link out. I'll talk about this stuff, right? And there we go. So thanks again for watching. There's your podcast for this week. Maybe I'll do another one next week. If you like that, got to let me know. Otherwise, I just give up and go cry in the corner. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you all next time. This is Gunny from Orochinagi.com. Thank you. And check out the events as well. Support the community!